What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Premier League Career Mode. It is episode number 12. Man, what a dramatic episode we're coming on the back of. Yep, Fulham escaping the bottom three after a nice little unbeaten stretch in the league, and of course into the Carabao Cup semis, where today we'll have more big games in the league. We'll have the FA Cup third round at home against the EFL side Wigan Athletic, and we will have both of those semi-final second legs against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, where we're underdogs heading in to that clash there. So there's loads to get through, and of course the small matter of the January window opening, we're going to see loads of sales, including Polina, Leno, a few youngsters going too. But we'll start off with this. Our first game, Everton away at Goodison Park. No losses now in our last 5 in all competitions. Let's keep this mini stretch going. Come on, Fulham. 3 big sales for Fulham come to the conclusion of this game. 2 players starting today in Bern Leno and João Polina, but also a sale that's kind of gone under the radar. Rodrigo Muniz, last year one of our top scorers, which didn't take a lot of goals, leaving to join Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia. That sale's kind of gone under the radar a little bit. And speaking of going under the radar, no one picks up Onana in the middle. And almost 4 minutes into stoppage time, when there was none allocated, the Belgian fires Everton in front. Yeah, nice little unbeaten run by Fulham, but we knew it was going to come to an end sooner rather than later. Oh, Carvalho, good stop by Jordan Pickford. And our clean sheet streak has gone, but we're trying to make sure we don't have our first loss in a while. Good save there by England's number 1. Still 0-0. Traore space. Dalinga. Clear by Ndidi. Into the final 5. Looks as though it's going to be back to losing ways for Fulham. I'm not too concerned by this. Oh, but I am concerned about that. Who's that that's gone down there? Is that Sheaf? There's Traore. Finds Dalinga. Play continues. And ties Dalinga. Gets in. Levels it for Fulham. And keeps the unbeaten run going. Played on, even with a man down. And ties Dalinga. Bails us out of death, and this is why I'm not too concerned about Rodrigo Muniz going, because Dalinga's come in. Okay, he's not been great. It's only his 4th in the league since signing from Toulouse, but he's still such a young forward. He's only been here for a few months. He's got a long way to go for his career in West London. That's a big goal there. Big equaliser. Big point. Fulham claw a draw out right at the death. We will take it. Yeah, it was indeed Sheaf to hit the deck. Thankfully just a bruise, so we'll be okay in a week's time. Not for the following game, but even so, thankfully. Just a knock. But I said this before, like injuries like that, frequent bruises, frequent knocks, I'm totally fine with that. Just not so much like 5 broken toes in a season. Anyway, here we go. January is here, and you'll see the departures. First man out the door. I don't think we'll walk them all out the door, but Leno's going, Polina's going, Rodrigo's going, a few youngsters as well. Fire sale at Fulham, as we'll have part 2 of the rebuild in January. Yep, 8 departures for Fulham. Oh my goodness. And of course, Jan Kuta arriving as well. So many sales, and I believe it's going to take our budget up to around 40 mil. Don't forget, a lot of these players we're only getting like a very small transfer fee for, but even so, yeah, I think it's going to take our budget up to around 40 mil, with the biggest departures, of course, being Leno, Muniz, and João Polina. And Jan Kuta, of course, arriving from Man City as well. So, yeah, we've already got 1 player coming in as part of the exchange deal as Jan Kuta arrives. Yeah, so our team's taken a big step down in terms of depth now. But again, that's not a major concern for us anyway. Yes, we had quite a few injuries this year, but we're not playing in Europe, so don't need a massively thick squad. And whilst it has taken a slight step down, I'd say, in terms of first team quality as well, with Leno going and the star João Polina as well, the most important thing is you can see what we're trying to do now. We inherited Fulham. We were like, I don't know what this team's trying to be. I don't know what their identity is, but now you can see what we're trying to do here. Young talent coming in all across the board. A couple of decent seniors that are leaders in this team as well, such as Bobby Reed, Jimenez, who's still here as well. But for the most part, we're building something, and you can see what we're trying to do with this Fulham team now. And that's the most important thing. And again, with the money we've got, we're certainly going to make at least 2, maybe 3 signings as well. Right, following game, Manchester United, first game of the January window opening, and our first game of 2025. Only 1 point off the drop zone, but a game in hand here. Let's go 4 clear with a big scalp against Erik ten Hag's side. Come on, Fulham. So another captaincy change. Calvin Bassey now taking the armband. don't know if I'll keep him wearing it. Do you know, I might know. I might actually try and extend his contract in this January window, you know. Try and tie him down to a long-term deal, deter the interest from the bigger clubs. It was Manchester United to put a bid in the summer and just say, no, Calvin, we want to keep you. We'll give you a salary increase and you can wear that armband permanently too. Good tackle there by Josh Eccles. And here's Couto making his debut. And Jan with the couple of 1-2s. What a dream debut this could be for Jan Couto! Jan Couto! Welcome to the cottage! Wonderful couple of 1-2s. Uses that pace. Bends it in past Onana. And the Brazilian with a dream debut in West London. And this is why I didn't mind the deal for Paulinho being less than we possibly could have got. Because I didn't want Guardiola to take this guy out of the deal. As soon as he said, do you want Jan? I was like, yes, please, mate. Because I know this guy has got some serious talent. Girona know it. And now Fulham are going to see it as well. I don't think I've used him in this year's FC, but I know he's got some talent. Big reason as to why Girona finished in the top 4 in La Liga this year. And what a dream start here as well. And like I said, is our team better than the one we inherited? Maybe, but if so, not by much. But it's got a much clearer identity now. As Reed's delivery is headed away, Sara flicks it down. Thijs de Linga almost doubled up. Only for Andre Onana to turn it behind for a corner. Still leading by 1, but excellent start from Fulham. Going at Manchester United and going for a big 3 points. In what is right now. Go on, Nathan, have a dig, son. No, easy save. Our best run of form, I think, since we joined Fulham. Oh, yes, Bobby Thomas. Well in, mate, but drops straight to Kobe Mainu. And now Anthony. Oh, what a save, Marek Rodak. Brilliant stop on the Brazilian, who I thought for sure was going to level it. And instead, the former Ajax man denied by a great save by our official number 1, who will now be hypothetically wearing it, I think, between now and the end of the season at least, until Knight comes back from his loan spell at the Hawthorns. Still leading. As Rasmus is also denied, and the ref will call for half-time. Massive close out of the first half, and now we close out the 3 points in the second. Into the final 6 minutes as we still lead by 1. Can we close out what will be a massive 3 points? As Rasmus gets on the run, and it's great work from Thomas. And I think that's probably going to do it. There has been an injury for Eccles as well. I'll keep you posted on that. So I think that'll probably be a little bit longer than a 5-day bruise. There's Delinga. Spots Iwobi for the dagger. Finally, Fulham are rolling. Another Scalbass, second of the year to add to the win over Arsenal. Alex Iwobi wraps it up. Fulham 2, Manchester United 0. And finally, after such a horrific start, there's good times here in West London. Massive win against Den Haag side to put us 4 clear of the bottom 3. Mate, buzzing, honestly. Finally, we're starting to get somewhere here with Fulham. And as we head back to the main menu, we'll see the injury for Eccles. It was just a bruise in the end, so he's going to be all right. But a bid for Ben Chief. Who wants him? Las Palmas. How very interesting. But the answer is no. He's staying right here. I like him, man. I like all 3 of the Coventry players you brought in, man. All 3 have been solid. Right, 3 more scouting updates. Well, we'll continue the scouting on these 2 players here. This lad, Theodore Bangers, can be really good. Solid defensive stats. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on him in the scouting for now. And from Ireland, we have seen a little potential downgrade from Sean King. It's still really, really good, but again, want to be as selective as possible. So do 1 more month there. And from Iceland, Thomas Olsen could be quite good, and Thomas Hansen, young goalkeeper, could be alright as well. Same with Christian Hansen too, but again, we'll continue scouting for now. I might give Peterson a scholarship, just because I always like to have like 1 player from each nation making the academy. To be fair, his overall's really good. Just need to work on that potential. But you can do that through dynamic potential, of course, by loaning the players out. Anyway, academy now looking like this then. And again, the best player still looks as though it's going to be Tom Roberts, the other Welsh wing wizard we got in the academy right now. But also, I'm a big fan of the Welsh centre-half we got too, Ethan Pearce. He looks really, really solid indeed. 85 not potential, 6 foot. Decent defensive stats too. He looks really, really solid. And I've said this before, a lot of you guys do ask in the comments. I see your comments saying, Doxy boy, why don't you put development plans on your youth players? As I mentioned before, I prefer balanced because I like natural growth all across the board to stop stats becoming too one-sided in one area. But yeah, I just prefer it. It's literally just personal preference, that's all. It's also because like if you keep putting development plans on your players, you end up just having like a team of 5-star all across the board, and it's just not very realistic. But anyway, speaking of development, Calvin Bassey, 6 clean sheets in 19, 1 in 2 in the League Cup as well, upper rating to 78 overall. And at 25 years old, I quite like the idea of this lad being the bridge between our seniors and our youngsters, and possibly taking the armband permanently. He's got 2.5 years left in his deal, 42 grand a week. I'm tempted to give him a new contract, you know, just say, Calvin, you can be the future captain here for Fulham long term, you know, from Rangers to Ajax and now to Fulham as well. I'm going to say to Calvin, this armband can be yours, not temporarily, but full time for a leader in this team. This is so annoying. You can never negotiate a contract length more than just 1 year either side. So I was going to say, like, long term, as the skipper here, as a player that's going to become a younger player that eventually becomes a senior leader in this team. 60 grand a week, 2-year extension. That's now 4.5 years on his deal, and it deters the interest from major clubs. Calvin Bassey, he's not just signing a contract for the pay increase, but I've included a clause in there. Fulham club captain. Right, following game, Chelsea in a West London derby away. 3 times we faced them this month. This is the first of 3 and the only league meeting as well. Halfway through the season on a nice little unbeaten run. Let's keep it going. Come on, Fulham. Yeah, feels good, man. Finally starting to stem the flow and get a real foothold as we try and further climb up the table. But if we're going to do that in this game, it needs to come from behind. Christopher Nkunku fires in the opener. And Chelsea have a very early lead. Well, we got them in the Cup semi-final, and 2-legged affair, of course. But I must say, I really don't see us getting through that. We've done well to reach the Final Four, but I can't see our progress going any further than that. Yeah, this season, Chelsea are looking really good. Right at the top of the table, going for a championship. And, wonderful offload by Danny Olmo. And this man is a big reason why. Another for Christopher Nkunku. 2 in 16 minutes. And Chelsea opening up a very healthy lead in the West London derby. Yeah, we knew the unbeaten run was going to come to an end at some point. We only just survived against Everton. Big win against Manchester United, yes, but it wasn't going to be before long we'd have a loss again. Oh, Traore, wonderful dribbling though, and puts it into the back of the net. All right, from kickoff. What a goal that was by Traore. Danny Olmo to Ben Chilwell. And the former Fox plays it inside. Sterling just staying with Nkunku because I know they want to get it to him. In the end, he's the dummy runner, drags everyone towards him, and that allows a bit of space in the middle for Caicedo to offload to Olmo, who restores the 2-goal cushion. Yeah, nice clean sheet against Manchester United, carved apart this afternoon. 3 goals conceded in 33 minutes. 27 minutes to go. Still in this, to be fair, we look good going forward in this game. It's just at the back we've had the problems. We've had some nice build-ups, played some good football. To be honest, we play some really good football out there. Jan Couto pegs it back, and Jay Stansfield, misses the chance we couldn't afford to miss if we were going to get something from this game. He's a good young striker, Jay, obviously out on loan at St Andrews last year. I've got to say, in this window too, I think it might be a good idea to loan him back out. You know, we've still got Jimenez for the bench, got plenty of way to bring in a backup striker for Dalinga if we want to, but Stansfield needs to play. If he's going to hit his potential, he needs to be a starter. I don't quite know what Jay Stansfield's potential is, but I feel confident it will be around 80. It's too easy. Danny Olmo literally just walks past Calvin Bassey and then fires in his second and Chelsea's 4th. Yeah, defensively just a bit too fragile in this game here. Chelsea with a big win and making a statement ahead of our Carabao Cup semi-final. They're still the biggest club in West London by quite some distance. This is quite an interesting one, to be fair. Porto just putting a bid for Anthony Robinson. There's a lot of talk he'll be leaving in the summer. But to another Premier League side, I know Liverpool have been mostly linked. Funnily enough, he came through the Everton Academy. I know Liverpool have been linked. Porto are a Champions League side. I'm not against selling him, but I would have preferred to have kept him in England and let him go to someone like a Liverpool or a Chelsea, really. Well, he's got 3.5 years left in his deal, so no need to sell him straight away. And to be honest here, I quite like to keep him for at least the rest of the season anyway. Even though I think long term Sessegnon's probably going to take his place. Anyway, I'm going to make my first signing of January window here if you don't include Jan Couto, and it's going to be a player that was relegated last season. Teden Mengi with Luton Town. He was part of the Manchester United youth setup, came through there. And with Luton Town, I rarely used him in my Luton career mode because at the start of FC24 he was really lowly rated, but now he's had a justified upgrade, and since going down with the Hatters, I think he'll come back to the Premier League for next season in real life as well. I've got a feeling someone will put a bid in and take him back to the top tier, and in this save, it's going to be us. We're going to bring him back to the top level and bring him to West London as well. I think we should be able to get him for close to market valuation as well. Is there anyone I could swap them? How about that young striker that I can't see to sell right now? 10 mil plus Terrier Blade. Well, they want Harry Wilson. That's interesting. I like Harry Wilson for the squad. He's not played a lot this season, but he's got a bit of ability. How about the young Albanian out of contract come the end of the season, Luton? How about him instead? We'll go 13 mil plus Adrian, and Rob Edwards says no, it doesn't want the player, but we'll just take the cash. It's always so demoralising when the AO manager's like, no, I still want the same amount of money, but just don't give me that player. I don't want to take on his salary. 13.5 mil, and it looks as though Mengi's coming back to the Premier League. Born in Manchester and coming through the academy of the team he supported as a young lad. But moving on to Luton Town, he wasn't the reason they were relegated last season. He's more than good enough to be back in the Premier League, and he will be here at Craven Cottage. Yeah, barely used him at all in my Luton Town career mode, but I certainly will use him here with Fulham as part of the rebuild. Welcome to Craven Cottage, Teden Mengi. Yep, 22 years old, 75 rated, so of course still getting a lot better, and he's a really athletic player. You know, he's strong, he's got a great jumping stat, and he's rapid as well. So really great player to have for the long term. And coming in as a new third choice centre half, this is a really, really smart pickup. Keep him on balance for now, but he'll certainly get the game time in rotation with Harwood Bellis and Bobby Thomas alongside Calvin Bassett. Yeah, I'm going to add Jay Stansfield to the loan list. He's got me a goal, he's got me an assist in 5 games in all competitions, but he needs to play, needs the game time, so fingers crossed I can get him out on loan. And I feel with Anthony Robinson, like I said, I'm fine selling, but would he go to Porto? Probably, but the problem is, to be fair, the salary is so high, so the deal will probably fall through anyway. Said before, like, when a player's on a really inflated contract, oftentimes it's hard to sell because of that. I'd rather get him to Liverpool than that. That is the likely destination for him this summer, or possibly Chelsea. So, yeah, we'll wait and see if we get a big from a big Premier League side instead. And, wow, Aston Villa putting in a massive for Calvin Bassett. He's Champions League, but he's literally just signed a new 2-year extension. If this would have came in before that contract extension, I would have considered it. But when a player signed a new deal, they're off limits. Calvin is going absolutely nowhere. He's our new club captain. And there we go, a loan offer for Jay, and it is Bournemouth who want to take him to the Vitality on loan. Totally fine with that. Championship side, hoping to get him some first team football there, as he'll aim to get the Cherries back to the top tier. Right, following game, Wigan Athletic, League One side, third tier team coming to take us on in the third round of the FA Cup. Should be a banker here and a return to winning ways. Let's reach the last 32 with minimal fuss. Come on, Fulham. So a mixture of starters and fringe players for this one here. And the last thing we want is a replay at the DW. In the Carabao Cup semi, first leg coming in the week. Yep, just want to get through this as comfortably as we can. And this should be one. And it is indeed. Mason to Alex. And Iwobi, second of the year, puts Fulham in front. Yep, just got to avoid that dreaded cup replay. Can't have another game in the calendar. Ball is into the middle. Oh, off the line by Sessegnon. And that's our Sessegnon, not Wigan's. We'll see brothers that came out of the Fulham Academy. Brought one back. I don't think we'll bring the other one. But even so, Ryan off the line. And still leading by 1 for now, as he's just giving it to his brother. Mate, you're not playing back at the park anymore. As Ryan Sessegnon says, cheers for that one, pro. And doubles up right before the break. Oh, just like when they were kids. Well, it might have been a bad loss away against Chelsea. There was no danger of us losing this one. A comfortable 2-0 win against the Latics and into the FA Cup 4th round. Put us in the hat for the last 32. And as we see afterwards, once again, that Terrier Blade deal falls through. So just like with Jimenez, I think he'll stay until the summer. So I don't mind too much, to be honest, if he does stay until then. Once the contract's off the books, that's the most important thing. As we are going to loan Jay Stansfield out to Bournemouth as well. 2-year deal. Hopefully fire him back to the Premier League and continue his development on the South Coast. Right, following game, here we go. This is the big one. Possibly the biggest game of the season so far. First leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final. Chelsea, West London derby. But unlike at Stamford Bridge, I think this should be a lot closer than our last fixture against them. Here at home at Craven Cottage, looking for a solid first leg result to take back to Stamford Bridge. Let's just make sure we don't lose the first leg. Come on, Fulham. First legs of semi-final ties are always quite nervy and cagey. And this one, no exception, as Sterling finds Danny Olmo looking for space to shoot, and Rodak makes a great save at the near post. Just didn't want to lunge in there and give away a cheap penalty. Still 0-0, 8 to go. Excellent stop by Marek, and I must say, since Leno's been sold, he's looking pretty decent, to be fair. Oh, nice ball through, and Kunku. Watch the free ball. Oh, no, I didn't even see him. Oh my goodness, what a goal. I didn't even see him. I literally did not see him. Ball chipped into Omre Chan, and he just ghosted him back stick. I didn't even see him on my radar. He's just found all the space and fired it into the bottom corner. But look at this on the replay. I'm so concerned by Caicedo. But look at Chan at the far post, totally all alone. Kenny doesn't see him either, and he controls on the chest and volleys it into the bottom corner. Chelsea have the lead and we're behind in the semi. Oh, no. Come on, don't concede a second late. It's a two-legged affair, so just don't switch off late. There we go, Taylor with it, mate, and Prince to corner too. It's going to be a loss regardless as Josh Eccles goes down again. Man, this guy is in the war, seriously. And Kunku, oh, what a goal. Who's just scored what could prove to be a crucial, pivotal, maybe tie closing goal here at the Cottage. Christopher Nkunku with an absolute screamer as Chelsea get a second in the tie with the final kick of the night. Heading back to the bridge, trailing by 1. Yeah, we were in trouble, but it wasn't over. But trailing by 2, we got an absolute mountain to climb if we're going to overcome this deficit. Chelsea just taken one big step towards a place at Wembley. Did really well to get to the final four, knocking out as Eccles' injury was just a bruise. Aston Villa are in the process, but we always knew it was going to be a tough task for us. And unfortunately, I think our progress probably will end in the final four as Jay Stansfield goes on loan to Bournemouth in Dorset. We'll keep an eye on the young striker there. Well, this is a very interesting one as we see that Luke Harris is coming back from the broken toe. Wolves want to take back Adama Traore. We've seen Leno go back to Arsenal. But I like Adama. Obviously scored a couple of games ago. I like him as a squad winger. So for now, he'll be staying here. Right, following game, Leicester at home, aiming to get back to winning ways here. 2 losses in our last 3 games, but both coming against Chelsea. Now taking on the Foxes in a big relegation 6-pointer down the bottom of the table. Let's get a huge 3 points here and pull further clear of that bottom 3. Come on, Fulham. Yeah, Leicester only just above us in the table. There's a real cluster of teams right now, just above the bottom 3. It just goes to show you, how tight it is right now as Carvalho plays through Dalinga. It hits the post. Man, oh man, how many times has he hit the woodwork this season? And why I really do believe that this season... Yes! Safety might be secured by goal difference, and that's why we've got to stay tight defensively. As that right now is our best asset. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Tice is the woodwork. This time it's the bottom corner. Fulham lead first. Oh, careful. Harry Winks through the gap. The ball across. Oh, what a save, Marek Rodak to keep us still leading by 1. denying Pablo Torre the leveller for Leicester. That's a brilliant save. This is why we're not going to replace Leonard. I'm going to say to Marek, no, you've got a number one. You hold on to it, bro. You're more than good enough. And that's going to be an easy claim for him as he keeps us still up by a goal. I mean, you might have noticed it. I've got James Trafford on the short list. Obviously, an excellent young goalkeeper out of the Man City Academy. But with Lance Knight out on loan, I think we should keep him out on loan with West Brom. That's a great kick out by Danny Ward there. Keep him out on loan at West Brom. And then next year when he comes back, we can have he and Marek battling for that starting goalkeeper role. Because Knight's only a couple of ratings lower, but of course several years younger too. Carvalho. Oh, it's deflected. Oh, what a lucky goal. Nathan Mason doubles the lead, but what a lucky goal that is. Pinball football around the edge of the area. And I'll always say this, when I've got a bit of luck, I'll hold my hands up and accept it. But what's that saying? Luck will balance itself out. We've been unlucky on a few occasions this year. This is an incredibly lucky goal. Mason capitalises on the ricochet and gets his 4th in the league this season. You know, it's a really interesting question that's often asked. Would you take winning a piece of silverware if it meant your team got relegated come the end of the season? Or would you rather secure Premier League safety but get knocked out of a cup earlier than expected? The best example you can use for that dilemma is Wigan Athletic. 2013 FA Cup final, beat Manchester City in one of the great FA Cup final upsets of all time, but were relegated. And whilst it's something that Wigan fans will remember for the rest of their lives, I don't think they've been back to the Premier League since. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, Wigan fans, but I don't think they've been back since. So it's a really, really awesome question to ask. You know, would you take the silverware or would you take the safety? I think for Fulham, our progress might end in the semis of the Carabao Cup, but getting back to winning ways here in the league and taking a giant step towards survival, even with so long to go. You can tell where my mind is right now. Ty Stillinger to make it 3, easily saved by Danny Ward. Yep, Fulham may not have won a major honour in club history, and it seems as though our chance of winning the Carabao Cup is looking all but over, trailing by 2 heading back to Stamford Bridge. But this makes up for it. Big win on the weekend in a relegation 6-pointer, 2-0 against the newly promoted Foxes, and a big step taken towards survival, even so early on into the second half of the year. That's a massive 3 points there. Yeah, I'll never forget that FA Cup final. It was Raul Jimenez has been approached by Konyaspor. Okay, there we go. Spurs bidding for Anthony Robinson. What's going on there? I think my right trigger's broken. One of the biggest cup sets, FA Cup final cup sets of all time. It was a great shot actually. Ben Watson, for those that are too young to remember, Ben Watson scored a header, basically the final kick of the game. The corner whipped in. And Wigan won it. It was a great shot of Dave Whelan, the Wigan chairman, in the crowd when they scored. It was one of those moments where it was like, oh, all those years, and it's just so nice to see that, you know. But anyway, I don't mind this. Anthony Robinson wanted by Spurs. £21 million, Postecoglou? No, I still think I hold all the cards here because Anthony's still got 2.5 years left in his deal. 20.5 mil, they say no, but we'll try and meet in the middle there of 20.25 mil. And it looks as though the lad born in Milton Keynes, close to where I was born, is on his way to Tottenham Hotspur. Yep, a London rival, but I don't mind that deal at all. I'm totally fine with that. Yeah, he's a great young player, Anthony Robinson. Obviously born in England, but represents America on the international stage. And whilst he's been heavily linked to Liverpool and Chelsea in this upcoming summer window, it's Spurs who win the race for him with a £20.25 million fee. I'll take that for our left back. So Anthony, thank you for the service and farewell. And that's now going to rise our budget up to around 50 mil, I believe, on the conclusion. Yeah, around £50 million. Wage budget consideration more likely to be 46 to 47, but I'll take that. And lots of money to play with between now and deadline day. Yeah, I'll take that. And shock horror, Raul Jimenez's transfer talks have broken down again. Yeah, he's going to stay until the summer. He's on such a high contract here, and he's going to wait and claim as many pennies as he can. So Ryan will now take his place. We did say we were going to convert Sessegnon to left mid, but now we've been working on those defensive stats. Actually, I might backtrack on what I said initially and keep him as a left back instead and try and turn him into the complete wing back here. I'm worried about the strength and the stamina, but other than that, I think he's all right. But yeah, with that money, we've got plenty to work with. But I think we'll consider making moves after this. Oh no, wait, hang on. Oh, a bid for a blade. Okay then. Well, there has been a draw for the fourth round, the FA Cup, regardless, and we'll be taking on before our final game today against Chelsea, Coventry Sky Blues. At the Craven Cottage in the last 32. Okay, bring on the championship side. Yep, let's end on this, our final game today. Chelsea away, West London derby, second leg of the Carabao Cup semi. We've just been beaten by them back-to-back, first in the league and then in the first leg. And we're going to need a miracle if we're going to overcome the 2-0 deficit and make it through tonight. We'll do our best though and see if we can pull off the cup set and make it through to the Carabao Cup final. Come on, Fulham. Pretty strong lineup out there for the games. I'm certainly going to go for it tonight. Not waving the white flag, but I always feel like if you're trailing heading into a second leg, you need to score early. You know, you've got to try and reduce that deficit as quick as you can, because the longer the game goes on where you're still down in the tie, the less chances you'll have as the game goes on. That is exactly what we needed. 14 minutes in, Jan Couto seconds into rhyming, Fulham strike first. Right, we're halfway there. One down, one more to go. And we'll level this tie. Oh, it's Danny Olmo has been terrorising me in all three of these games. Lukaku gets a shot away and says, what was that? Level? Don't think so. Or half in the deficit, don't think so. Romelu Lukaku drills it in near post. Literally all that good work undone in 8 in-game minutes. It was always going to be tough tonight to keep a clean sheet, let alone overcome a 2-goal deficit. Any glimmer of hope that we just got has now been dashed almost instantly. Pre-game, it seemed a formality that Chelsea would be making the final, and despite scoring early, Lukaku's instant leveller ensures that it is the Blues who booked their ticket to Wembley. They'll take on Manchester United in the Carabao Cup final. A great run by Fulham making it to the final four, but unfortunately ended by our West London rivals, as the Blues say to us, we're still the biggest club in this part of London. But that will do it for today's episode of the Premier League Caribou, guys. So big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I'll return in the next one with the FA Cup fourth round against Coventry City, aiming to make the last 16 for the second year in a row. More big games with the Premier League, aiming to pull further clear of that bottom three. And with deadline day about to start and 10 hours on the clock, just under 50 million to work with, I'm sure a couple new signings to this growing Fulham team. Have a great day, guys. Much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.